Senator Hutchison, how about you?
Well, shame on the governor for using that figure when he knows that even the truth tests have shown that I have voted against funding sanctuary cities at every opportunity. I absolutely have. But on your question, E-Verify, I've been a small business owner. I know how hard it is to try to do the right thing to assure that we are hiring people who are legal in our country. E-Verify is the best system that we have that would allow an employer to do what they need to do. We have to give employers the tools to find out if someone is legal. We can't clamp down on employers if they don't have a way to call in and do something. E-Verify is it's free to the employer. It is, I think, the best thing that we have. Maybe we will get something better, but if we are going to really make sure that we are not hiring people in our country who don't have the right to be here, E-Verify is the best system we have. A mandate, no, but I would encourage our employers, and I would certainly make sure that the state used E-Verify to assure that we were doing the right thing.
Thank you
as
very
an
much,
example.
Senator. Appreciate that. Time's up. Ms. Medina, you took that question first. Your rebuttal.
You know, we've had squabbling back and forth between these two and no leadership. We've got a process in Texas to verify whether or not someone is here legally. We use I-9 forms. Those of us that run small businesses know that. We also know that the Texas driver's license is an acceptable form of identification. And yet in Texas, we're issuing driver's licenses to illegal immigrants. If we fix our own state law, we had a bill in the last legislative session. Without leadership from the governor, the bill languished and died in committee. Stop issuing Texas driver's license to illegal immigrants. We'd go a long way in stopping the hiring.
Let me stop you right there. The next question is going to come from Sarah Lucero. It's for Governor Perry.
Governor Perry, this budget year you took $12 billion in federal stimulus money to balance the state budget. But that money won't be there in 2011. Experts say that the shortfall, the anticipated shortfall will be $12 to $15 billion next time around. What programs specifically would you cut? What taxes would you raise?
Well, we have already sent a clear message to our state agencies that we want them now to start making the reductions in their agency budgets by at least 5%. I expect some of those agencies may come in with more than 5%. That's a good start. But the fact is, in 2003, we faced a $10 billion budget shortfall. And with Republican leadership that was in place in 2003, not only did we pass the most sweeping tort reform in the nation, but we also balanced that budget without raising taxes. This last session of the legislature...
So what programs specifically would you cut, would you recommend cutting?
When you look at the consolidation of some programs, I would look at an agency like ORCA, which already has a great advocate over at the Department of Agriculture with Todd Staples. I would consider bringing together agencies like the PUC and the Railroad Commission, realizing that those, in one case, are elected, but I think those are some areas where you can consolidate and save some money in state budget.
Okay. Thank you, Governor Perry. And now to Senator Hutchison. How would you balance the state budget?
Well, I do think that using the federal stimulus money, while the governor was kind of politicking against stimulus funds, for recurring expenses was the wrong thing to do. That is leaving us with a bigger deficit. So we will be going into the biennium with this $15 to $17 billion deficit, and I don't think that's very good money management. Going forward, I think that the thing that I like the best are across-the-board cuts. I applaud the governor, the lieutenant governor, and the speaker for saying that state agencies should start cutting now.
Like what programs or services?
When I was state treasurer, I voluntarily cut my own budget 10%. It was not hard to do. You can do it in travel and administrative costs across the board. Also, consolidation of agencies, most certainly. And I would be looking at the Governor's Enterprise Fund, which we have seen now does not have the transparency, is not producing the jobs that were promised. $363 million of taxpayer money has been spent, and these are jobs that mostly would have come here anyway. So I'm not sure that that isn't something that we should cut or certainly curtail.
Thank you, Senator, very much. Now to Ms. Medina, what programs would you cut or taxes would you raise to balance the budget?
You know, it's unfortunate that the governor's not taken his own fiscal advice. The fiscal notes just released by the comptroller last week shows in the executive department in the first fiscal quarter of this year we've seen a 13.5% increase in spending, double-digit spending out of the executive branch in the state of Texas, when everyone here has been tightening their belts for a year. I've been a strong advocate of recognizing that private property ownership is an essential element of freedom. We must eliminate property taxes in Texas. As I've said before, where freedom walks, there walks prosperity. Eliminate property tax in Texas. Raise the revenue that government needs with a sales tax, with a consumption tax instead. We'll see a $3 billion increase in net personal income. We'll add over 150,000 new jobs to the Texas economy. Raise the bar for leadership within state government. We'll find places to cut. I agree that there is waste in every area. Every department that we look at, we find wasteful spending.
Right. Governor Perry, you took this question first. 30 seconds for rebuttal.
Well, let me address the Enterprise Fund, one of the most successful programs, most popular with the legislature and the local governments, I might add. Some $380 million, Senator, not $360 million, that has been used in that program to bring in over $16.4 billion worth of capital into the state of Texas and 54,600 jobs. I will defend that any day. It is very transparent. The Lieutenant Governor and the Speaker both have a great opportunity to look at those. So I'm very, very pleased to support the Enterprise Fund.
These are one-on-one interviews. It will give us an opportunity to get deeper into issues and the candidates' views on those specific issues. We'll first hear from Senator Hutchison. The Dallas Morning News' Wayne Slater has some questions in this first one-on-one.
Senator, wanted to give you a chance tonight. We wanted to give you an opportunity to clarify your position on abortion. In 1993, when you ran for Senate, you affirmed support for Roe versus Wade. Yet, in the first debate this year, you weren't so clear. Let's look at this video.
I am very comfortable that Roe versus Wade is working very well.
So you would not support the overturning of Roe v. Wade?
What I'm saying is, if it is overturned, you're going to have abortion havens.
Is there a yes or a no to this?
Look, I'm just telling you why I'm concerned.
Senator, tonight, you can clear this up. Do you support overturning the ruling that legalized abortion in America, yes or no?
No, in this sense, Wayne. I am very concerned, as I said, about the consequences of what would happen. I have a very strong pro-life record, 94%. But I take Justice Roberts. What did he say when he was asked in his confirmation hearing about overturning Roe v. Wade? He said he would be very cautious because there is now 40 years of settled law that has started restricting abortion in our country, that has had a good effect. And he would be cautious for overturning it for not knowing what is behind it, which is what I said the other week.
Senator, did you really believe that if we overturned the legalization of abortion, and that's what that ruling did, that there would be more abortions than we already have when it's legal?
I think it is absolutely. You look at some of the states and their view of life. Texas is a state, and I am a person who reveres life. And I think we need to go the extra mile to protect life. And the unborn baby should be the priority. We have two lives here, too. The mother,
but wouldn't there be fewer abortions under a system where you didn't have the legalization of abortion, which is where we are today?
No, I don't consider the way you are characterizing Roe v. Wade. I think the restrictions that have become the law of the land are good restrictions. I think it's the right thing to do. My record is very clear. I have a 94% pro-life voting record. As governor of Texas, which is the issue we should be talking about, I would sign every bill that has gone into law in Texas because I believe in parental consent. I have supported that. I have supported the ban on partial birth abortion. I don't support government funding of abortion, and I would promote adoption. I have in my private life. I have in the United States Senate, and I will as governor. We need more adoption. We need ways to save these babies.
We understand,
and to
Senator.
give them
I think
a family.
you said tonight that you think the legalization of abortion ruling should stand.
I do not characterize it that way. Those are your words, not mine.
Let me move to a couple other quick things, if we could.